So I'm just going to take these ones away, and I'll talk about these other ones now. James still has some soup left.
A little bit.
I don't know where I've put all my notes, so I may not talk about all those. Where in the world? There it is. Spirit healing. The illustrations in the borders of each page are very distracting and make the reading stressful. 25. The goal is maybe to perceive purple in your mind's eye. If you see purple, you can communicate with your spirit helpers. People seeing yellow are on a higher emotional plane but must raise consciousness. These people see blue or purple easily. A predominant green color may indicate an obsession with loss or control of fear. Everyday living concerns are interfering with higher spiritual development, communication, relax prior to starting. People who see only red or orange might need to ponder current security, fear, passions that tend to keep the individual at the root level. Occasionally, a person will see black. This may mean a problem visualizing. Try to smell, feel, or taste purple. 28. Divination rock should be orange, basketball size. Focus on pictures seen in rock. Write down what you see. After 10 pictures, state original question and apply to your pictures. Let mind free associate. 103. No one must ever touch the contents of your medicine bag. It only needs protection from witches who want to take your power. Never leave it unattended when bad vibes around. Tie it to your waist. Your sacred medicine used to heal others and gain personal power. Seeing birds in odd settings or close is worth noting. Be alert to hidden meeting. To assist a mother wishing for a baby, you will use a lock of the mother's hair, a sacred corn kernel, a red stone, and herbs such as black walnut and red raspberry. Wrap, bundle with red string, and tie to a bush with feather. Due at beginning of new moon. 108. Most medicine bags contain animal bones, tails, feathers, or claws, and an assortment of herbs and roots, smudges, paints, rocks, and other symbolic articles to represent a deity, such as the sun. Song sung while using items from medicine bag was given by spirits, and it was the catalyst for releasing powers. If you're walking the rainbow path, personal power objects appear. You needn't hunt for them. 108. One source for feathers or skins are roadkills. Always travel with salt, knife, bags, gloves, sage, shovel, and a paper bag for burial. Put feathers or parts kept in salt in bag, in trunk. 111. Power bundle materials, 5 natural color cloth, red string, cornmeal and tobacco, sage, juniper, and cedar, or substitute a local smudge. Lock of your hair, strip of paper with wish on it, symbol representing wish, pebble, small totem to give away. If wish is feminine, add cornmeal. If masculine, tobacco. 117. Never think destructive, negative thoughts. Think only pure, loving thoughts. What you think, you will become. What you focus on, you bring to you. What you fear will happen to you does. So because you have medicine, all these truths will happen tenfold. Those who possess and do not use the gifts suffer more than those of ignorance. To achieve miracles, just pray for them to happen. Any doubt cancels its creation. 118. Don't attach yourself to possessions. 141. To see auras, deep breathe through nose, hold, and then breathe out through mouth. Repeat until lightheaded. Look at person's head first, but not directly. Unfocus eyes and look to the left or the right. Blue, intellectual. Yellow is love and devotion. Rose quartz when recovering from loss of a loved one. That's 154. 155. Black tourmaline for protection. Wear it in left pocket. This will block anger or fear from entering aura. All red stones are to be avoided by those people with serious physical illness or with manic personalities. Healthy but tired or depressed people benefit from red stones. Green aventurine increases luck in money matters. Carry with quartz or tiger's eye and purse. So the next one, Native American Healing Secrets by Porter Scheimer. 1. Says Louis Mell, Madrone, MD, Medical Director of the Center for Complementary Medicine at U of Pittsburgh Medical Center and author of Coyote Medicine, when we are in harmony with the earth and the people around us, Our cells are in harmony within us. It's disharmony that creates cellular degeneration and disease. Native Americans believe that disease was often caused by soul loss. This occurred when people abandoned generous ways for selfishness, dishonesty, and despair. Unless the soul was returned to the body, death was sure to follow. 13. To experience a wild shamanic journey, close your eyes and begin drumming with your fingertips. While drumming, imagine you're leaving the real world by journeying through a long tunnel with a light at the end. To achieve a trance-like state, you must use a steady rhythm of 205 to 220 beats per minute and drum for 10 minutes in a monotonous way. 14. Native Americans don't believe in an afterlife, but did believe in immortality. 19. Sweat lodges were made of willow branches covered with birch bark or animal skins. In the southeast, they were dug into the side of a hill, or made by hollowing out a large dirt mound. In the northwest, they were made of cedar planks. Early North Americans heated rocks in a fire, then used leather tongs or antlers of deer or elk to carry them into the lodge. Cedar, sweetgrass, or sage placed on the rocks. 20. Raising the body temperature above 98.6 degrees normal can often slow or stop the progression of illnesses caused by heat-sensitive viruses and bacteria. Sweating rids the body of certain toxins. Steam caused by water on rocks creates negative ions that counter stress and fatigue. Honestly, I have to say this. I was always frustrated when I was at the university and I would go into the steam room and somebody would come in with an obvious cold, trying to get rid of their cold. I mean, it's a public steam room. If you want to have that effect, go have a bath at home, or close the door and put a towel under to block the steam and turn your shower on hot and sit in there. When you're sick, you don't go in public places, including the public steam room at the university, for heaven's sakes. 21.
About the worst.
Always annoyed me. Dogwood branches with bark removed, boiled in water, massage with water, and pain goes within 2 to 3 days. Also good for massage. Valerian, witch hazel, CLJ, and onions. Often massage done in sweat lodge. Now, again, if you're going to hang out with other people, maybe you don't want to massage with onions in the sweat lodge. That seems cruel. 28. Vegetables made up of bulk of North American diet, made up the bulk of it. Wild gathering of turnip and yam, corn, squash, beans cultivated. They liked their, I don't know, meat. Boy, well done. Deer, buffalo, turkey, duck, moose, elk, woodchuck, opossum. I sure do.
Isn't it funny? That's the word that I focus on. What are the chances?
I must have been really tired when I wrote this one up. Was considered a time to eat sparingly. Eating too much would make baby fat and pains of labor difficult. 33. More than 25% of the drugs in use today contain active ingredients either derived from or chemically similar to those found in plants. Example, cancer drug tamoxifen, the heart drug digitalis, and morphine. 34. Aloe heals burns, treats fungal infections, eczema. Aloe helps skin cells regenerate. It treats inflammation of arthritis. 35. Peace pipes filled with tobacco and a pinch of bearberry. Bearberry has wild sedative effects, diuretic and antiseptic, treats kidney stones and UTIs. Tea from bearberry can help treat prostatic hypertrophy, enlargement of the prostate gland. Women use during heavy menstrual periods or for uterine or vaginal infection. This herb helps increase body output of insulin and may be helpful in treating some forms of diabetes. Arctostaphylos, steep 2 teaspoons dried leaves, 10 to 15 minutes in hot water. Black cohosh for menopause symptoms. North Americans use it to relieve pain, delayed menstruation, difficult childbirth. Herb relaxes uterine walls, helps relieve arthritis and respiratory problems. Also known as bug bane. 1 teaspoon dried root, simmer 15 minutes, drink 3 times a day. Corn poultice for skin ulcers, burns, swelling. Silk treats high blood pressure, kidney and bladder infections, and UTI. Steep 2 teaspoons silk in boiling water, 1 cup. For poultice, mix cornmeal with milk and apply paste to swollen burnt area. Dandelion. Roots sliced as antiseptic for wounds, sores, and inflammation in the mouth. Tea from leaves, laxative and digestive aid, cleanse kidney, bladder, liver, and spleen. Contains potassium, phosphorus, vitamin A, B, C, D. Flowers rich in lecithin, which treat liver problems. Dandelion rich in calcium, 200 milligrams and 10 grams of dried leaves. It contains boron and silicon. Daily application of dandelion milk to remove corns and warts. Echinacea root contains caffeic acid glycoside, a substance that reacts with other substances to heal wounds. The roots also contain something that fight bacteria and combats viruses by inhibiting an enzyme used to break down cell walls. Add 1 to 2 teaspoons powder to cup of boiling water. Simmer 15 minutes. Take up to 3 times a day. Fennel treats flatulence. Add 2 teaspoons of seeds to a cup of boiling water. Let stand 10 minutes. Drain and drink 3 times a day. Drink tea half an hour before eating to prevent flatulence. Avoid in high doses if pregnant. It's a uterine stimulant. Garlic treats snake bite, cures scurvy. Allicin combats fungi, yeast infection. Garlic lowers blood pressure, low density lipo, whatever, the LDL cholesterol, and reduces tendency of blood to clot. 50. Ginseng is an adaptogen. 51. Goldenrod contains lycarposide, diuretic. Take tea between meals up to 4 times a day. Prevents UTI, kidney and gallstones. 5 teaspoons dried flowers and cup of boiling water. Golden seal treats earaches, bladder infection, cold, flu, chronic fatigue, tinnitus, yeast infection, canker sores, intestinal parasites, athlete's foot. Tea from plant roots, 1 teaspoon steeped in 1 cup boiling water. Take 1 tablespoon of tea 6 times a day. Tea can be used externally for ringworm, conjunctivitis. Gravel root, Joe Pye weed, relieves back pain, rheumatism, stomach pain, gout, improves liver, kidney function. All parts of plant are medicinal. Take 2 teaspoons of herb in cup of boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Drink as often as every half an hour. For cold flu, in large amounts, it can be toxic. Hawthorn treats congestive heart failure. It lowers cholesterol, prevents plaque buildup on artery walls, lowers blood pressure. So you need to remember this one, right?
Yes.
And flexibility of blood vessel walls. Berries, flowers, and leaves are medicinally active. Flowers, leaves harvested early summer. Berries harvested in fall. 1 cup boiling water over 2 teaspoons of berries. Steep 20 minutes. Drink tea 3 times a day. Horsetails, rich in calcium silicon, which helps cartilage and tendons grow. Treats UTIs, kidney problems, and ulcers. 5 teaspoons dried herb, any part of plant. And teaspoon of sugar in boiling water. Sugar helps release the silicon. Simmer 3 hours. Strain and cool. Drink a mouthful several times a day. Harvest in fall when silicon content is highest. Juniper berries inhibit herpes and flu. The berries fight bacteria and it's helpful for arthritis. In large doses, juniper is toxic. Don't use during pregnancy. Lady slipper, 2 teaspoons of root in 1 cup boiling water to relieve insomnia. 62. Licorice may be helpful for arthritis, asthma, athlete's foot, canker sores, gingivitis, heartburn, chronic fatigue, Lyme disease, psoriasis, prostate enlargement, Addison's disease, dandruff, depression, and even baldness. Glycyrrhizin, maybe? Prevents cancer. 1 teaspoon dried root to 1 cup boiling water. Steep 10 minutes. It shouldn't be used by pregnant women or by anybody with heart problems, kidney complications, or high blood pressure because it causes water retention. 65. Boiled branches of magnolia to make tea treats nausea, asthma, tobacco addiction. 2 teaspoons bark in a pint of boiling water. Simmer 30 minutes. Add water to make 16 ounces. Strain and take 1 tablespoon as needed. 66. Milkweed treats warts by applying milk once a day. Mullein contains mucilage and saponins. Treats respiratory ailments. North American put the fuzzy leaves in their shoes. Oh, that's interesting. Nettle, I forgot about that one. Swat joints with nettle. The sting causes body to make anti-inflammatories and pain reducing chemicals. Boiled in tea, sting goes away. Nettle has high boron, which eases arthritis. 1 teaspoon of herb in 1 cup boiling water. Steep 10 minutes. 70. Oak contains tannins that kill germs and lower inflammation. 1 teaspoon dried bark to 1 cup of boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Drink 3 times a day. Oats relieve anxiety and depression. Oregon grape, half an ounce of dried root in a quart of boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Drink up to 3 cups a day. Cleanses spleen and can be used externally to treat psoriasis and acne. 73. Peppermint soothes joints. 2 to 3 drops of oil treats flatulence. 76. Pine. Bark poultice for hemorrhoids, breathing in fumes from needles thought to relieve backache, ease arthritis. Half a teaspoon needles and young buds collected in spring. In 1 cup boiling water, steep 15 minutes, take up to 3 times a day. Soak 3 handfuls of pine twigs in 30 minutes. Boil 10 minutes. Strain and add to bath. 77. Plantain lowers cholesterol and controls weight. It contains a lot of mucilage and husks around the seeds. Obese women given 3 grams plantain in water 30 minutes before meals lost more weight than those who didn't take the herb. It reduces the absorption of dietary lipids in the bloodstream, according to David B. Mowry, Ph.D. Another name for plantain seeds is psyllium. Purslane, portulaca, is the richest known plant source of omega-3 fatty acids. It has a lot of magnesium. It also contains lithium, eases depression. Use internally or externally. 181. Raspberry leaves strengthen and tone womb tissue. Drink throughout pregnancy and labor. 2 teaspoons dried leaves in a cup of boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Strain. Sage, Salvia officinalis tea, arthritis, menstrual pain, treats Alzheimer's. 2 to 3 teaspoons leaves in boiling water. 15 minutes. Steep. Strain. Drink as needed. Nursing and pregnant women shouldn't use sage. Those with epilepsy should avoid it. Sassafras, roots and berries used to treat nausea, fevers, fatigue, gas pains, menstrual pains, scarlet fever, and syphilis. Valerian tea, steady nerves. Roots treat muscle cramps and menstrual pain. For anxiety, insomnia, migraine. 1 to 2 teaspoons of herb in a cup of boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Strain. 88. Violet contains rutin, which strengthens capillary walls and may treat varicose veins. A half cup violet flowers contains 200 to 2,300 milligrams of rutin. Boil for 15 minutes, 1 teaspoon per cup. 90. Watercress treats liver and kidney problems, gallstones, nervousness. 1 teaspoon per cup boiling water. Steep 10 minutes. Trembling aspen contains aspirin. 1 teaspoon bark, collect spring. 1 cup boiling water. Simmer 15 minutes. Drain. Drink up to 3 times a day. 93. Wild rose. Eat hips for vitamin C. Willow contains salicin, like aspirin. Willow bark and licorice tea help ease pain. 1 teaspoon a cup, boiling water. Steep 15 minutes. Don't give willow bark to children. It may increase risk of Reye's syndrome, a neurological disorder. 96. Wormwood poultice relieves arthritis, pain, and diaper rash. Yarrow for stomach problems and fevers. Most potent are upper leaves and flowers. 107. Among the Native Americans, anxiety was rare, in part because they derived tremendous peace and comfort from their spiritual beliefs. That's a quote. I thought that was ridiculous, but who knows? 108. Doctors estimate that approximately 16 million Americans have some form of osteoarthritis. 1 sweat, 2 long bath, 3 willow bark, 4 nettle. That's how you treat that. 111. Back pain. Sweat lodge, massage, peppermint tea, rub, sage, willow, and stay active. That's how you treat that one.
Basically aspirin.
Yeah.
Oh.
Treat it with some aspirin. 124. Depression. Licorice root, short term, 3 cups a day. Purslane, oats, rosemary, and sweet clover scents.
And lots of TV watching.
Yeah.
That speaks depression.
Coyote medicine. This one also was very hard for me to read, so my notes are kind of ridiculous. Calf boy, cesarean. What is that even? Well, I can tell you because that was a story. This book has a lot of stories in it. And it's kind of interesting that if you like hearing the Native American stories, totally go for that book. And I like the story about Calf Boy. That's what that was about. 145. In Native American medicine and holistic medicine, he explored healing grows out of a change in the patient's relationship to herself, or it grows through a relationship with the healer and the spirits the healer calls forth. Threaten crazy lady. Break her legs if she doesn't take meds. Okay, this I need to explain a little further too. The guy's a doctor, and he was working with
Crazy lady.
crazy lady.
That's his diagnosis.
And he told her she was gonna bite his fingers. She was like, "I'm gonna bite your fingers if you make me, if you put that tube down my mouth," or something like that. He was gonna administer something, and he wasn't gonna do that apparently, but he wanted her to take medication. And he said, "If you bite my fingers, I'm gonna break your legs." And she was like, "You can't say that." And he's like, "You told me you'd bite my fingers off." And she's like, "Yeah, but I'm crazy. I can say whatever I want, and you can't say you're gonna break my legs." And so he's like, "Well, I must be crazy if I'm working here, so I can say whatever I want to then." So that's what that's about. Anyway, collecting medicine stones. Meditation leads to removing cancer. Diseases manifest themselves in sites of abuse from earlier in life. We pack this pain with us. We need to rid ourselves of it. 286. Mexican half-breeds are called coyotes. Coyote is a trickster. 287. Trick pessimistic clients into unconsciously believing they can be healthy again. The World We Used to Live In by Vine Deloria Jr. 92. Jesus is half dark and half white, Indian and white man. He carried a dog under one arm and lamb under the other because Indians sacrificed dogs as white men sacrificed lambs. 43. People can heal illnesses in dreams or visions. 53. A girl died, but the shaman lay down beside her and tied a piece of red yarn around the girl's wrist. He went into a deep trance. His soul followed her to the realm of the dead. He brought her back to the land of the living. As he moved, the girl moved. 67. The power to find lost objects are usually found in small sacred stones used by the Plains people and the power boards or cedar shanks used by the Indian nations of the Pacific Northwest. Sacred stones remain within our chronological time while looking for lost objects. They disappear and people wait for sometimes an hour or more until the stones return. So they actually physically disappear. 123. Clean yellowish sand square. Smooth figures drawn around edges with ceremonial arrow. These indentations then filled with pigments. Medicine man sits at opening of lodge and faces sand square, pipe lit and smoke blown in all directions. He puts a grain of corn from his medicine bag, makes a hole with the sacred arrow and plants corn, smoothing sand over top. Corn sprouts quickly. By next sunrise, silk and tassel appear. By noon, fully mature. Mature within 36 hours. He takes from this mature corn a new kernel for his medicine bag. 137. They get rain Apache by calling on white painted woman, world, and child of the water, thunder. A whitish sand from old Mexico is used. It's blown in 4 directions. Lightning is called when sand is blown, and blowing sound, hoo-hoo, is made. They also suggest the number of days it should rain. 138. It used to depend on human sacrifice. 154. Medicine stones are usually golf ball sized, round and earth colored. The stone is regarded as the most perfect form of life since it has a physical integrity in itself and needs no other form of relationships. Its surface has no beginning and no end. Its power lasts forever. Rock medicines are both male and female because they begin with the marriage of the male rock and the female tobacco plant. Sometimes if you dream of a rock, it shows up with you. 184. The tribe gathers around fire in a circle. Once energy is raised, the priest sticks quills of eagle feathers into the clay floor so they stand. The priests dance, sing, clap until all the feathers dance for 5 to 10 minutes, acting like puppets. 202. The sweat lodge is built in the shape of a sphere to represent the cosmos. The sand painting also looks like the universe. To avoid being trapped within the powers that the painting summon, the work is never finished and a little lapse in the continuity of the drawing is left. The spirit lodge is an elongated cosmos with a forum for spirit communication. The power of space is one of relationships. The sand paintings and the sipapu are miniatures of the universe, and if smoking the pipe to the 6 directions acknowledges the power of the universe, then the creation of the tiny universe would certainly be within the range of possibilities. 204. Navajo thunderstorm created within a hogan. Candles put out. Growl of thunder. Blinding flash of lightning shoots from side to side of the room while the room trembles with thunder. These artificial storms only last for a few minutes, and then candles lit again for other ceremonies. And then I have notes started for a good book that I was reading. But I don't know. I'm not too much into the whole hocus pocus of any religion. So if you are, then you totally go for that book. That one's 100% hocus pocus. So if you're into that stuff, then that's the book for you. Now for me, I have a hard time with that stuff. I go for the medicinal plant sort of side of things. Well, I'm interested in plants, so it makes sense, right? And I'm interested in medicinal plants. So I find a lot of that very interesting. But the whole making feathers dance on their own thing, or rocks disappearing and reappearing, I don't know. I'm not for much of that. Anyway, this is supposed to be an orange, and it's not really pink. It sort of looks like a grapefruit. I don't know.
Pink orange?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tastes like a grapefruit.
They must have crossbred them or something, maybe. I don't know.
It's more palatable than grapefruit, but
Yeah.
not nearly as good as an orange.
Mhm.
But then I like orange. You don't like them?
I don't like either. But I try to eat them every now and then because I realize they'd have stuff in them. I like a varied diet. I believe people should eat as varied a diet as they can handle. For me, meat can't be a part of that because I can't handle that. But James eats the fish, and I don't think there's any problem with that.
Well, sometimes it's disgusting.
Mm. I think it stinks.
Particularly if they leave the eyes and the head on.
Blah.
And it does stink. But no for them. Oh, it smells.
You can have more of this.
I hate a lot of it. I gotta finish up those grapes tonight, so. It's Friday night, right?
Mm-hmm.
No garbage
I
pickup
actually-
on the weekend, eh?
I wouldn't mind that book to recommend out of, as far as these ones, this selection goes. I didn't mind that one too much. But I had, it's okay, but the one that I'm currently reading is way, way better.
Oh, that hardcover? Oh, that looks good.
It's so good.
Exactly. I mean, there's stuff
So I
to
can't really
accommodate.
recommend any of these for that
Yeah.
reason, because I know that there's one better that I will be talking about eventually.
Okay. And then I think I'll be having it.
Me too.
Sleeping.
That's it. I dropped juice on my pants, so now I look like I peed myself. That's